Coming up on this edition of Maximus Aviation News Week in Review. In our top story this week, Tequila Gate. What's Tequila Gate? Well, I'll give you a hint. It involves Boeing and tequila. What could possibly go wrong? I'll have the details. Also this week, Boeing sent out notices to 150 employees in Washington and California that their jobs will be moving to Texas. I'll tell you who's going where. Well, Ryanair, one of Boeing's biggest European customers, has walked away from the bargaining table, telling Boeing thanks but no thanks to their biggest MAX 10 jets. But are they serious? I'll fill you in. Also, America's newest startup airline, Breeze Airways, announced a huge Airbus order this week. I'll fill you in on what kind and how many they ordered. And finally, one of the world's greatest airplanes is celebrating an anniversary this week. I'll tell you about all that and more on this edition of Maximus Aviation's Newsweek in Review. Greetings everybody, Maximus here. I hope you're all doing well, wherever you may be all around this great big world of ours. Our top story? Tequila Gate. Well, at least that's what I'm calling it, mostly because it's fun to say. So what is Tequila Gate? Well, news broke this week that two empty miniature tequila bottles were found on board one of Boeing's new state-of-the-art Air Force One 747-8 intercontinental jets, now undergoing modifications in San Antonio, Texas. However, the brand of tequila still remains a closely guarded secret. The discovery of the miniature liquor bottles on one of the future U.S. presidential jets is currently under investigation by Boeing, but it isn't known where exactly on the plane the bottles were discovered. While Boeing has had problems in recent years with tools, rags, ladders, and other factory garbage left on commercial and military aircraft, however, this incident is said to be particularly serious because it involves alcohol and the Air Force One fleet. When asked for comment, a Boeing spokesman said the incident was a personnel matter, whatever that means. But Boeing says they're not classifying this as an incident of FOD or foreign object debris because they say alcohol isn't allowed at any of Boeing's facilities. Well, apparently somebody didn't get that memo. But the spokesman stressed that Boeing takes the finding of tiny little empty bottles of hotel minibar tequila extremely seriously. An Air Force spokeswoman said that Boeing informed them about the, quote, personnel matter, and that there was no effect on the aircraft modification work. The Air Force monitors production quality closely and holds Boeing accountable to ensure the Air Force One program meets stringent quality control requirements, she said. The Pentagon's contractor said it takes factory debris incidents seriously and works with contractors to correct such issues. Okay, you may have detected a bit of sarcasm in my telling of this story. But I have to say, seriously, it's not a good look for Boeing, and it certainly isn't professional. But come on, it's like what, 2 teaspoons of tequila? I'm just saying. Oh, and this just in. The crack news team here at Maximus Aviation News reached out to former Boeing Chief Test Pilot Mark Forkner, and he said you can't pin this on me, because everybody knows I drink appletinis. Boeing notified about 150 non-union employees in its supply chain organization that their jobs are moving from Washington State and California to Texas. In a message to all employees at the Texas-based Boeing Global Services Division, Boeing supply chain president William M. Pofo justified the move as part of the company's ongoing business transformation to simplify the organization and streamline their processes. And Pofo told employees in a video that we're focused on relocating work to Dallas, Texas. This includes BGS supply chain jobs that support both our commercial and our government business. The current plan is to complete most of these moves to Dallas by the end of 2021. The affected jobs are in the company's global parts distribution unit and will be relocated to buildings near Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Also, Ampofo's message added that we anticipate there will be additional decisions regarding workforce transformation efforts as we continue to examine all aspects of our work. At staff meetings after Ampofo's announcement, employees had the chance to discuss the implications with their managers. One person whose spouse attended meetings said that faced with a move to the Dallas suburbs, the bet is most employees will not take them up on their offer, and speculated that Boeing will then hire more junior replacements in Texas at lower pay. Boeing spokesperson Rafael Gonzalez said those employees that wish to stay in California or Washington would have the option to apply for another supply chain job where they reside. Well, last week, Ryanair told Boeing that they are pulling their $33 billion offer for up to 230 of Boeing's largest MAX variant, the MAX 10. Ryanair, Europe's largest budget carrier, is already the EU's largest Boeing MAX customer, with 210 of the 197-seat MAX 8-200s on order. The additional MAX 10 order would have added up to 250 of the 230-seat MAX 10s to their already dominant Boeing inventory. Analysts estimate that even after steep industry-wide discounts, such a deal would still be worth well over $10 billion. However, last week, Ryanair Group Chief Executive Michael O'Leary poured cold water on chances of a quick deal, saying he would be surprised if an agreement were reached this year. O'Leary said, "We are disappointed we couldn't reach an agreement. However, Boeing has a more optimistic outlook on aircraft pricing than we do, and we have a disciplined track record of not paying high prices for aircraft." In their response, Boeing Air said Ryanair is a long-standing partner. We value their business and are committed to supporting them, but at the same time, we continue to be disciplined and make decisions that make sense for our customers and our company. While Ryanair has ostensibly ended talks, analysts assume that Ryanair is gambling that public pressure will lure Boeing back to the bargaining table. But Boeing appears to believe that the market is finally swinging back in their direction after winning a series of orders, including a 150 MAX 10 order from United last month. Despite the rift with Boeing, O'Leary has repeatedly downplayed the prospect of a dramatic defection to rival Airbus, mostly due to a long waiting list for its hot-selling A321neo. Breeze Airways, America's newest carrier, founded by JetBlue owner and entrepreneur David Neeleman, last week publicly unveiled an order for 20 more Airbus A220-330 aircraft in their effort to operate longer flights. The order brings Breeze's A220 order to 80, making Breeze the A220's second biggest customer after Delta Airlines, and also besting JetBlue, Neeleman's other airline. Breeze is Neeleman's fifth commercial airline. Breeze began operations in May of this year using Embraer regional jets and plans to start using the new Canadian-designed A220 on routes longer than 2 hours beginning in early 2022. Breeze will take delivery of its first A220 next month on October 26. After that, Breeze will take delivery of a total of 80 A220s at one per month for the next 6.5 years. Airbus said the A220 aircraft would be delivered from its Mobile, Alabama assembly line. Breeze currently serves 16 U.S. cities and nearly 40 routes. And finally, 62 years ago this week, the narrow-body Douglas DC-8, one of my all-time favorite aircraft, entered service with Delta and United Airlines in September of 1959. While Pan Am was the first airline to order the DC-8 in October of 1955, it was rivals Delta and United that first put the aircraft into revenue service. Both Delta and United chose the new jet-powered DC-8 in order to keep up with Boeing's new 707 while replacing their Douglas DC-6 and 7 fleets. United was pivotal in the design of the DC-8, with the airline's then-president William A. Patterson being a big advocate of the 6-abreast seating chosen for the jet. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of Maximus Aviation News Week in Review. I'm glad you could join me. Now it's your turn to let me know your thoughts down below. But before we go, really quick, I'd like to give a shout out to some of this week's coffee contributors. Ricardo Leal, Alistair Monroe, and T. Thank you all for your support for the channel. It's much appreciated. And if you would like to help us continue to bring you the best aviation news content we can, you can always support the channel through the Buy Me a Coffee or merch apps, links in the description below. And if you haven't visited the Maximus merch shop yet, give it a look. There's some really nice swag in there. And of course, before you go, on your way out, please be sure to subscribe, like, share, and ring the bell. And remember, leave the rubber on the runway and your troubles on the ground. And I will see you next time in the air. Yeah, this is Maximus.